What's up, you guys? Thank you for clicking on this video. So as you can tell by the title, I want to talk about something that is obviously on the minds of Transformers fans the last few days since we got the announcement that Reactivate has been canceled and the game is just not coming out anymore after almost a decade of work, which is absolutely insane. But a Transformers game that Hasbro can actually produce in the modern era to be successful and for people to actually care about it and for people to actually want to go out there and buy it and play the game is something that I wanted to discuss in this video. So, it's kind of tough. It's 2025 now. The last major console game we got was Devastation back in 2015, 10 years ago now, which is insane. Time flies so fast. It's like, where do we go from here? Reactivate, the leaked footage that we did have and the story details, it was kind of in line with the War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron games a little bit, had sort of that same play factor as like Dark of the Moon game a little bit. So it had that going for it stylistically, a little bit of that nostalgia and just familiarity on what worked with the previous couple Transformers console games that we got that were really big hits back then. So I feel like incorporating some of those elements into it still is a great way to go, especially nowadays when that sort of style is in more than ever. Because I don't know, the play factor and the style that we had with War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron, and the Dark of the Moon game, that's still something that people really like, and they just like looking at it, playing it. And I feel like if they still incorporated that in whatever other game that Hasbro is going to be working on at this point, that I feel like it would really still pique people's interest, and even casuals. Like you guys got to remember, there are a lot of casual fans who don't know about all this extra lore and stuff and all these characters that are looking forward to a game like this. Like I saw all over the internet, there were fans of Reactivate waiting for this game that weren't even huge Transformers fans. So just tapping into that sort of market nowadays for 2025 and piquing people's interest with that sort of nostalgia, I feel like having that same style that Reactivate was going to have is still a good way to go. But in terms of the story, characters, and overall composition of the game, I feel like that's where Reactivate was having its trouble. Now for settings, I feel like, I don't know, for like settings and story, they could go a route of it just being set in space. It doesn't have to be Cybertron. It could be random planets already established within the Transformers lore. There's dozens of planets already established within the lore, whether it's Japanese continuity or the comic books or whatever other Unicron trilogy series you want to name that has all these different planets like Gigantian or Velocitron, whatever planet. And it could be like a galaxy hopping sort of game, kind of like what the sequel to Fall of Cybertron was going to be. If I remember correctly, they were planning something along the lines of that, but obviously that never worked out, and we got Rise of the Darkspark, which really wasn't that great. I feel like a galaxy hopping game is something that we haven't gotten yet, and we almost got over 10 years ago, but I mean, just didn't materialize for whatever reason. I'm not sure. I'd have to look into that and maybe do a separate video on it. But I think that would be the best idea. It's just something we haven't gotten yet in video game form, and frankly, even story form in general, whether it's cartoons or movies. We got it a little bit in the comic books, but obviously that's not like a main target audience. That's just like an offshoot. It's more so for hardcore fans, the comic books and stuff. So I feel like that would be best story-wise and setting-wise. You could have a bunch of different planets you could play on for the multiplayer and stuff. And for character choices, I think Reactivate had a decent selection of characters, but I feel like going even harder with B, C, D-list characters that fans really want to see in game form, like characters from Unicron Trilogy or animated, or more characters from Aligned Continuity. We were going to get Knockout and Reactivate, but some other ones would be even better. And just some obscure G1 characters, whether it's from Beast Wars or regular G1 or Japanese G1, would be really dope to see as like add-ons or whatever. And just stuff like that. Stuff that we haven't seen in video games that is a little bit different, and that's going to pique the interest of hardcore fans like us and pique the interest of casual fans like the people that we're looking forward to reactivate and that have been playing these games since the 2000s and have loved them. And that's basically their main attachment to Transformers are these video games. Because there's a lot of people out there like that, believe it or not. So, you know, a galaxy hopping game, more diverse character selections, and making the playability similar to the War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron stuff, while also incorporating modern aspects to it to just update the overall feel and style of the game would be best, in my opinion. But that was just my quick thoughts on where Hasbro can go next for the next Transformers game that they very well could be developing right now. Because obviously Chris Cox, he wants to turn this into more of like a gaming company with Hasbro. And I'm sure they're already thinking about the next step and the next move for a Transformers console game. So yeah, let me know down in the comments below. How do y'all guys feel about my picks here? And what do you guys think Hasbro should do next for a Transformers game that's actually going to come out and that's actually going to be successful and work? All my social medias are linked down below, including my email if you guys want to hit me up about business inquiries, if you want to message me about whatever. Or if you want to commission a diorama from me, because I make dioramas for people for their stop motions, photography, or your regular display shelves in your homes, you could either hit me up on any of my social media accounts, or you could just email me and we could work out a deal. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching this video. Catch y'all in the next one. Bye!